So we're talking about developments now in the capital market. So many things are coming up, so many strategies being introduced. Let's get the perspectives of the President, Institute of Capital Market Registrars, as we talk about the challenges and strategies to boost investor confidence in the capital market. So good morning to you, Mr. Olubimi, Mr. Bayo Olubimi. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, good morning.
Now, so much has been going on in the capital market space in the last couple of months. Has it been easy managing these changes?
Thank you very much. I think the most important or critical one was the issue of recapitalization that had been extended twice. But eventually, September 30 was the cutoff date. And SEC has told us that very soon they will publish in the papers those that qualified to continue to operate in their current status as maybe dealers, brokers, or maybe some that have downgraded that cannot do 2, 3 functions because of the capitalization. So I think in the registrar space, over 90% of our members met the deadline. It was very challenging, but much more challenging in the the stock broker space. But I think a lot of them were also able to breast the tape. But very soon, I think SEC will come up with those that qualified and those that did not qualify. But it was challenging, especially to raise the new capital.
So in the days ahead, what are we expecting from the registrars aspect?
Like I said, almost all the registrars met the deadline. However, there has been a lot of other challenges in the past few months. Most critical one is the issue of unclaimed dividend. As you are aware, SEC has come up with a ruling or a decision that any dividend over 15 months should be returned to the issuer. 90% of it, which registrars have complied with, and that is challenging.
So, can you just tell us the current status of unclaimed dividends in the market?
It is difficult to say exactly because it's a moving target. It goes down, it comes up depending on who is declaring what, which company declared what amount. But in summary, it ranges between 50 billion and above at the last count. However, the bulk of the money has been returned back to the issuer. 90% has been returned back to the issuers. That is the issuing companies for them to deal with according to SEC rules.
But you see, something that comes up all the time. You know, I know that for a certainty, registrars and issuing houses try as much as possible to alert, customers when it's time for them to collect their dividend. But we seem to still have this recurring decimal of people not collecting their dividends as at when due. Is it that there isn't enough enlightenment or there isn't enough notice to these customers or to these investors that their dividends are due for collection?
Let me first say that at the last count, unclaimed dividend, we did a competition in statistics. Unclaimed dividend in the capital market as at last count was less than 5% of the amounts declared in the past 10 years. Which means, I'm not saying it should not be 100%, but at least achieving 95% success, I don't think it is bad enough. However, we still have a lot. I mean, if you look at the pattern of unclaimed dividend, it has always been the same set of people. Probably they are no longer existing. Some of them are dead, and their estate, the estate has not come to claim. Some of them have changed addresses and they didn't inform the registrars. Some because of the small amount. Yeah, you know one thing, like I tell people, or like it is said that little drops of water make a mighty ocean. You see a lot of retail investors not claiming their money, and I will tell you one of the reasons was because a lot of them during public offerings, especially in the 90s and the banking consolidation of the 2005, 6, 7, 8, a lot of them use multiple names to invest, and it's becoming difficult for them to claim those money because some of those names are not actually existing anywhere. So it's one of the strategies or one of the suggestions that we made to the authorities sometimes ago is the issue of amnesty. Amnesty, what do I mean by amnesty? People who have used multiple names in the past due to ignorance or whatever reasons, let them come forward with the names they use After verification or checking by registrar to confirm they actually paid, then we consolidate.
And then, but what about this implementing of this this e-dividend mandate management system?
Oh, it's already on, but that will not resolve that issue. I mean, if I don't have a name that I can use to open an account, or if I use a name that I cannot use to use a name in buying shares, which is not real, it means I can't use it to open an account. So the e-dividend platform will not solve that problem. It will solve the problem of people who are genuine shareholders who use their names or their corporate names and who can use those names to open accounts.
So how do you now solve the problem of those people with fake names who have, you know, opened accounts and have monies that are just lying around?
I mentioned it just now. As we have suggested to the authorities to give what we call an amnesty to such people. If you used multiple names when you were doing public offerings, come forward. Come forward with proofs that you actually use those names, maybe within a year or 6 months. Those people that come forward will consolidate their account to their real names. Without they be able to claim their dividend, and going forward, it will be easy to claim dividend.
So for those who don't come forward, then what?
It will continue to remain unclaimed. And of course, after 12 years, it goes back to the company. It becomes status bar.
So now, just talk to us a little bit about the future of registrar's business in Nigeria now post capitalization. You already mentioned it, and then the materialization of share certificates, and of course this e-dividend.
All over the world, most advanced countries today, some of them are doing the math. I'm not sure of UK in particular and US. Yes, they've gone a long way with the math, but they've not done full the math. Nigeria, by fiat or by whatever, we have said full demand should take effect, which is fantastic. Even in the face of full demand, registrars will still be relevant because you still keep the register of shareholders, you still conduct AGMs on behalf of client companies, you will still do a payment of dividend, and all that will still be anchored by the registrars. Yes, you may no longer issue physical dividend or physical warrants, you do e-dividend, you are still doing the administrative aspect. So the registrar's feature is still there. But one thing that we've been telling our people, and one of the things that we will discuss at our next conference is how to move forward. I mean, you don't just stay in your space. You need to launch out and think of other things to do. You see, when most registrars were part of banks, they could not do other businesses, other functions in the capital market because there are some other subsidiaries within the group that does that. But now, the new policy of SEC as registrars is that no bank or banking group should own registrar. So all of us have been sold to new investors. With that, we can launch out and do other businesses within the capital market. Of course.
Yeah. So what strategies, you know, has the Institute, for instance, now encouraged its members to adopt in terms of trying to boost investor confidence in the market?
One of them, of course, is the issue of transparency and integrity in handling customers' complaints. And luckily, or do I say, as a market, not just registrars, now as a market, there is a committee called Investors Confidence Committee, which was set up to boost investors' confidence. But the way we can, as registrars, boost investors' confidence is to ensure that, one, dividends are paid as and when due. Two, when corporate actions are made or are done by the issuer, we implement as quickly as possible. And the issue of resolution of complaints, or what we call complaints management in the market, should be given should be given more attention by registrars, because if a customer complains today on one issue and 6 months after that issue is still nagging, of course you will discourage such an investor. So as registrars, we have come together to tell ourselves, of course we have what we call the Committee of Compliance Officers within the registrars industry, and that committee has been going around to ensure that we follow our rules, we follow our operational procedures to the letter, to ensure that if your turnaround time you claim is 2 weeks for a particular inquiry, 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 1 week or 2 days, we ensure that you follow it to the letter. And I think, without trying to be modest, I think we are improving.
When you say you're improving on the percentage of 0 to 100, how would you score yourselves?
Maybe 70, 75. Yeah. I mean, compared with what it used to be. And of course, all of us are now IT compliant. And even in terms of AGM, so we used to have issues with AGM, especially when there are polls, because of the time it takes to conclude AGM. But today, with e-voting, the device that we have introduced, that almost all of us have embraced in the market, you can get a result of polls within 2 minutes because it's online real time.
So now with the changes, with the recapitalization of capital market operators and registrars, with all the things that's beginning to happen in this capital market space, what's your outlook, at least for the very short term? Because we're already in the last quarter of the year, we've got just 2 months, and then into the new year. What's your forecast?
In the short term, you won't see so much improvement. Why? A lot of people, a lot of operators are trying to adjust to the new realities. Like I said, many of them will have to drop one function or the other, especially those in the stockbroking dealer space. Some of them are broker dealer before. Some of them have to drop the dealership thing. Others have to drop the stockbrokership thing. And they have to now attach themselves to people that have license to do broker and dealer together. So that will take a lot of time to adjust because you are used to going straight to your trading platform before to do trading. Now you have to be attached to somebody else to do your trade. So it will slow down a lot of things. So over time, in the next 2-3 months, there will be a little bit slow down in the market. But I believe also with the president, PMB, sending a list of ministers, by the time we have Minister of Finance or ministers that have to do with the economy, we know what is the economic outlook or the focus of the of the government, and with that there will be a lot of also confidence, not only in the local investors but even the foreign investors, because a lot of people have kind of do what I call sit down look. Let's watch and see what will happen. So by the time the government take off fully with the inauguration of ministers, I think there will be a lot of changes in the market.
Mr. Olumimi, thank you for coming on the program and telling us, giving us your perspectives and sharing your insights on what's going on actually with the capital market, especially with the registrars.
Thank you.